what you can expect from the podcast is every week, I want to give tips on how to up-level your life, how to glow, how to overcome challenges, how to build on what you've been given. And in addition to all of that, I really want to end each episode with a fun average glow tip of the week. What that tip will look like is something either like fully free or very low budget, something that's just honestly small enough and minute that if you implement just that one thing that week and start kind of growing and building the habit off of it, eventually after, how many weeks you implement all of these things, it comes together and it just becomes this humongous impact. One little tip is really all it takes to just see a huge change in your life. And when you really commit to it, it's going to go a very long way. And so today's average glow tip of the week, and this is how I started with my new journey of up-leveling, is I picked a podcast, obviously pick me, but no, I picked a podcast on self-improvement, and I took notes, like avid notes, as if I was in class again, which I'm not a huge, love to be a student. But I took notes, and writing down notes, or I typed them in my phone, but writing is better. But writing down notes helps you really solidify it in your brain to remember it. Plus, you can refer back to it instead of having to remember what episode did I hear this and kind of letting it flow. You have written proof of what it is that you're wanting to implement. And it wasn't that I was taking notes on everything I was hearing, but just different ideas that would spark. And, I did like to take notes on kind of new verbiage and vocabulary about spirituality and manifesting and up-leveling and things I hadn't really ever thought of before. That's really helpful because you can kind of reread it. But I was also listening to affirmations and writing these affirmations down and then practicing them. I just was never an affirmation person before, but now I'm a huge advocate. So I was hearing her say the affirmations, and then I wrote them down, and then I started reading them, and then I started kind of memorizing them and then doing my own. And so that was really important to me. I'm definitely going to get into affirmations on a future episode. So what I did was I had made 2 different notes in my phone. The first note was just called journal, or actually, what did I call my journal? I guess I called it up-level journal, or, whatever kind of is exciting to you, a very invigorating word of best version of myself journal, or I'm amazing journal, whatever. And then, add some emojis, add some flair to it, make it kind of cute, and then pin it to the top of your notes app. So when you pull up your notes, you see it there first and you can easily go to it. So I was taking notes while I was listening to a podcast. And then the second note in my notes app, which I also pinned to the top, was called Mini Ways to Elevate. And I had not really an elevator emoji, but just maybe it is. I don't know. It has a little arrow up. And this was also a really important note for me to take because I dated it for the day, and I would just write down little things of just pure joy or happiness that sparked that day. Down from decided to try a new coffee drink, loved it, or didn't love it, but it kind of knocked me out of a routine that I've been in forever, right? It's something new. It was a new idea, a new thought. Walked extra today. Oh, I had the idea to walk 7,000 miles. Kind of ideas like that. And then, a random idea would pop in your head, similar to God giving me this massive idea of starting a podcast. And you write it down immediately. You don't want to forget. Sometimes it's kind of like how people will come up with something in the middle of the night and they're like, oh, I got to write that down. Because you will not remember. If you go back to sleep and think about it in the morning, you're like, what was that brilliant idea I had? So it's important to write it down. And the other benefit of this is that it really helps you go back on days where you're not feeling good. When you're feeling down, you're in a rut, maybe you just went through a breakup, you're depressed. You can go back and be like, what are some little things I tried that could get me out of it? I mean, took a bath, did a face mask, and then went into my robe. Things like that. It's just, it seems so little, but it goes such a long way. And when you write it all down, you kind of can see it. I mean, right now mine is months of every single day, just 2 to 3 things. Sometimes I turn it into a big journal post of this is how I'm feeling today. I feel amazing. Let's go. This was what inspired me to feel this way. I feel great, and go into it. Or it's hey, remember to call your mom. Simple. Or you called your mom, something like that. And then I can go back and I have scrolled, pages and pages and pages of ideas, personal ideas to me of what makes me happy, makes me the happiest. And so if I'm in a rut, I can scroll down and I'm like, oh yeah, like me and my daughter, we got dressed up and we went to dinner. That was really fun. And that just was so exciting, And so now I think I'll do that again tonight. That'll feel great. And it's just so important that we celebrate these small wins because it's what gets us through when we're in tough times. But honestly, it also helps us up level because now I'm maybe going to make it a weekly thing to take my daughter out. It helps her. It helps me. It bonds us. And now I'm this elevated version of myself. Do you understand? So it's really helpful. That's my tip of the week. I hope you can start implementing it. You maybe have to be kind of an organized person to like your notes app. It just helps you stay organized, helps you stay kind of vibrant and on top of things, and helps kind of build your aura. And so I hope it helps.